I think it's fair to say the Baltimore Ravens had an odd game against the Carolina Panthers. If you look at Lamar Jackson's statistics, they certainly do not look very good. And when you add on to the fact that the Ravens didn't score more than 3 points until the fourth quarter, they only had 3 points in the first 3 quarters, you certainly would look at this and say, okay, well, they clearly didn't do too well. And there were some issues, although I don't know if it was actually as bad as you might think. Once I watched the tape, I was like, oh, okay, they actually got stuff going, just kind of beat themselves in some fluky ways. So I don't really think I'm long-term concerned, and let me explain why. So first, we got to start off with this play. In fact, I'm going to start off with a few plays in a row. The first drive, we saw several drops. We would see the Ravens receivers kind of uncharacteristically not be able to make catches that we typically expect them to. Watch out on this play. Lamar Jackson is going to run a play action. He eventually fires, and that's going to be, again, fullback. He drops it. That's kind of understandable. This one is going to be Mark Andrews, who does not haul in a relatively tough one, but still one he usually grabs. This is going to be another drop right there. So, several drops on this one, that last one by James Prochet. So, again, you're not talking about necessarily the greatest catchers, Patrick Ricard and James Prochet being two of them, but, obviously Mark Andrews is very good, and just, a couple of uncharacteristic drops. You expect most guys to make some of those grabs that kind of, that can kill a drive. Okay, that happens. And also this play was another one of those fluky plays, and it's not all just fluky bad plays that happen. Like, I did think that for the most part, the Panthers did a very good job of stopping the run, which we know that the Ravens, obviously a big part of their game is being able to run the football effectively, but the Panthers did a good job of stopping that. But also, again, something like this, which is just a complete fluky play. Baltimore has the ball inside Carolina territory, and they're actually inside field goal range. Again, for Justin Tucker, those sentences are practically mean the same thing. But Lamar Jackson takes the snap. He is going to look down the field, and you see right there, I mean, this is just absolutely one of those, like, 1 in a million type plays. It's weird because we actually saw 2 of these this week. We saw TJ Watt pull off this play, which is, I don't know how you really go about pulling it off. It's almost more so just it happens to you, it feels like. But you see as Lamar basically throws it right to Bravian Roy. That was the Panther player who gets the interception. I mean, again, it's like a tipped pass, but it ends up being worse and gets intercepted. Like, it's a fluky play. It is. It's not something you expect to happen. A few of those, though, that's what can cause kind of for the slower start. I did think that stuff like this was a pretty big thing that happened to the Ravens. On top of them not being able to run the ball too effectively, this was kind of what slowed them down early on. But really, like, going over here, when things worked well, it felt like they worked really well. Like, at times, they were able to seemingly easily get guys open, and that's why I'm not really concerned about the slow stuff, because, hey, it's the NFL, right? You're going to have peaks and valleys. You're going to have ups and downs. Your offense isn't going to look awesome every single drive of every single game unless you're the Ravens when they went 14-2 that one year. But the way this play works is it's man coverage, which, notoriously the Ravens have had a difficult time, beating throughout the course of Lamar Jackson's career, but they've done a lot better job this season, and they're going to do a better job on this play. You see the route on your screen. This is the route that can get open, right? It's a relatively good route. Can kind of get over the middle of the field, so it would be a good angle for Lamar to make the throw. It's kind of past the player who's covering shallower over the middle, but underneath the safety who's deep. And the player who is running this route is going to be Demarcus Robinson, who is not, known for being a superstar, although he did have a good game in this one. Watch out when this play begins. You see that the Panthers corners were playing very far off. I'm assuming, maybe given the situation, that's what they were doing. But you do have Robinson, who's relatively wide open. Lamar is able to hit him in stride, though, so perfect throw, which allowed Robinson to pick up a ton of yards there. That set up the field goal that was their 3 points of the first half. So even in that tough first half and tough first 3 quarters, we did see some plays like this that made you say, okay, there's the Ravens. It just wasn't consistent enough. In the fourth quarter is when we definitely saw some more consistency, and this was an example of kind of like this, stop beating themselves is what I thought in the fourth quarter. That's what I saw. Maybe you're going to say that, that's not being fair to the Panthers because they had an impact in this game, and sure, they did. But this is just what I saw that once the Ravens kind of started just playing their brand of football, they were really difficult for the Panthers to stop. This is an example of, while the running game wasn't working, one thing you do say is that running the ball helps set up things like play action, and now there's debate as to how true that is, but still, it is going to work on this play. Watch as Lamar runs the play action. The play action itself, wasn't crazy, but you did get to the point where you're able to get Mark Andrews wide open regardless. I'm not sure if the play action changed that or not, but either way, this is the kind of stuff that, again, when things worked, it was a weird game, right? Because things weren't working too consistently. There were some issues going on, and things weren't getting like open super consistently or anything like that. But when plays were working, they didn't just work, they looked so easy. I mean, watch, Lamar's not going to miss that throw. You get Mark Andrews to pick up a big gain. So again, stuff like this is what you're going for. This is what you're trying to do to help make it a little easier for you to, again, win this football game against a team that realistically you were kind of hoping you'd blow out. I mean, again, it was a 13-point spread, so only winning by 10 actually feels like Vegas is disappointed. The people that betted on you were actually disappointed in your performance, but, again, winning by 10 points is still a pretty impressive, performance. And we also saw stuff like this. You're still going to see the classic Lamar Jackson things. And again, it is a big point in this game, right? Is it? I mean, I guess you could argue it's not, right? Because you're playing Baker Mayfield, who is not playing very good football, and the reality is you don't have to worry too much about your defense giving up a game-winning touchdown. But you know what? You'd like to not put yourself in that position if possible. It is the NFL. Stranger things have happened. All it takes is one miscommunication for things to go haywire very quickly. So, okay, you want to score a touchdown here? Well, this is one of the more difficult plays in the NFL to stop. It's get quarterback keeper with Lamar Jackson. You do have to respect the handoff up the middle, especially in a first and goal situation where, all you need is to get 1 yard to get the first down right here. But instead, you're going to see Lamar Jackson fake the handoff, keep it himself. And again, Carolina played that actually okay, but it's so hard to stop. Lamar's able to get into the end zone for a touchdown. So, as a whole, I kind of thought this was a pretty fun game by Lamar and a pretty fun game by the Ravens. I mean, again, they were not able to move the ball as consistently as you would have loved. But hey, the flip side is your defense played awesome. I didn't break that down in this video, but that still is good. Yes, you can say it's Baker Mayfield. Sure, I get it, but still, Baker Mayfield plays in the NFL. The Panthers play in the NFL. They've scored more than 3 points in most of their games they played this season. Granted, they've also given up more than 13 points in every game they played this season, so that's, still not ideal. But, at the end of the day, it's still, I think, it's not a good win. You don't sit here and say, oh, great, I feel so fantastic that I was able to beat the Carolina Panthers by 10 points, that we are the best. But what you do sit here is you sit here and say, you know what? We played sloppy. We have a lot of things that we have to clean up and fix, but at least when we play sloppy against a bad team like that, we can still win by 10. At least we don't have to sweat in the final 7 minutes of the fourth quarter, even when we play like that. Part of it is the Panthers not playing well, but part of it is because we can do some nice things, because we can get Mark Andrews wide open like that, because Lamar Jackson can run those plays. It does go both ways. So, yeah, I mean, those are kind of my main thoughts on Lamar, my main thoughts on the Ravens as a whole and their victory. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And, of course, as always, thanks for watching.